Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of Animetalkradio. We are your hosts.
Josh. Also Josh.
Can I be Josh too?
I like being. I don't want to be Josh. Actually, fuck that. I'm
You
Josh.
know what? Yeah, let's be someone else.
And-
I don't want to be Forrest either.
I'm
You
Bob.
can't.
Can I be Bob? I want
I
to be
already
Bob.
called
Can we
him.
all, can we all be Bob? We're all Bob now.
We're all Bob.
I'm Bob.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all
The
Bob.
5 Bobs.
5 Bobs. All right, 5 Bobs.
Four Bobs and a Josh.
4 Bobs and a
Hell
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh doesn't deserve
That's
to be
the
Bob.
weirdest quintet I've ever heard of.
4 Josh.
Four Joshes and a Bob.
All of us.
4 Bobs and a Josh.
4 Bobs and a Josh.
Oh, good Lord. All right, so
Sounds hot.
here for another episode. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff in the news, as always, like last time, and we'll go over some of the stuff last season, the ending things of last season. Maybe probably talk about a lot of things coming up in the new season, and we're going to go over everything we saw in Anime Expo, which all of us went to except for one of the Bobs.
Except for Bob.
Yeah, except for Bob.
Fuck Bob.
Which Bob? though?
Damn,
Fuck
Bob.
you.
One of the Bobs. It doesn't matter. It's one of the Bobs anyway. So.
Yeah, fuck.
Like, and we talk about some of the announcements they made, some of the panels we saw, some of the stuff we saw, some of the stuff that was shown to us there, and we'll go over that. So, first things first, new stuff. Mr. Forrest or Bob. I don't know. Pick a number. Which Bob you want to be.
It's Bob 69. Thank
Okay.
you.
Shit, I was gonna pick that. You fuck.
Bob
You can be
420.
68.
Fuck you. I'll pick the good ones. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay, Bob 69.
Okay.
Take it away with the news.
So we're gonna go back to Uma Musume. Best show ever. Uma Musume, video game or the mobile game, will be a winter release for this year.
Shit. It's
Well,
not
also-
winter.
Is that the
Game?
horse racing one?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the horse racing one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So their game's gonna have come out winter, but also they have Blu-ray, DVD sales, everyone call it. The disc sales will actually help horses, like real life race horses. So a percentage of it will go to.
Glue factories.
Yes. Who's licensing it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh well, shit. Okay, I guess I'll
Google that. Shit.
I'll probably just Google that.
I still
But
think
yes.
it's pretty cool that that they're actually promoting it towards that, because I guess that makes sense why they were complaining about the lewd stuff.
Don't jack
Guess-
off to my horse, Forrest.
Wow,
Damn.
it's your horse. It's not
It's a
Uma
$1 million
Musume, so it's
horse.
fine. Only a
Yeah.
million?
I don't know how much horses cost.
$10.
You would think you would know that though,
That's-
because your family kind of
Like owns
does
like
that a little
15,
bit.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's because she's just bad with money. I hope
Uh,
she never listens to this. I bet if she finds out, oh, can I listen to it? Oh, actually, I'm just talking shit on you, Aunt Tammy. No, you can't.
God.
Good Lord. But
But
Horse Girl gotcha game. Let me get it. Let me have it.
so
I'm-
sorry to interrupt you, but is that like just a Japan release?
I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like.
Shit.
But
Okay, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
well, the game I
What am
can't
supposed to do
really
with all
tell
this freedom?
because it's like it shows up only in Japanese. Obviously, when you search it up, but most mobile games do that. So I'm gonna guess it's only in Japanese. Either way, I'm gonna play it and probably put money into it.
By the looks of it too, I guess the game will go through a plot that wasn't in the animation.
Ooh, good. So something I can't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
So that'll be interesting, and I can't really find out. I can't really see who's licensing it, but I'm hoping it's like Funimation or something. Something that doesn't cost ridiculous amounts, like Aniplex stuff. But
It'll
But
probably
yeah.
be Aniplex. It's not Aniplex, but it probably will be.
I don't know. It's by PA Works, and PA Works usually doesn't run their stuff through Aniplex, so
No.
that should be fine as far as the Blu-ray is concerned. But it'd be fun to see the game. Yeah, we're all just probably just gonna emulate it, right?
Yeah.
Read a wiki.
What? No, I would never
I'm
do
not-
such
I'm
a
not gonna
thing.
play it.
Okay,
You
never
wouldn't
mind. He's not gonna
download
play.
a car, would you?
It doesn't look interesting to me.
Well,
I kind
can
of
see
get it.
where
Like,
you're
yeah, with the show was pretty fun to go through, and it was like a nice experience and all. But honestly, like, what's the fucking appeal of it? Like,
It's the waifu
It's
purpose.
just
I like
just
throwing
gotcha
money
game.
at things.
There you go.
me too. But I'd rather
Oh,
have
wow.
other waifus.
But it's okay. We're actually gonna come up on something that you might actually play.
Oh,
but,
that in there. That's my topic.
but yeah, all right, Bob 69.
Well, we also have the well, to me, what it looks like is the Overlord game which comes out. It looks like next week or the 16th, I'm guessing. And it also is, I think, only in Japanese, but it's really hard to tell with the website. It could be both, but there's no like exact release date or publishing.
So I actually don't see a release date. So it says there's going to be a commemoration special event, a live event for the game's release. Oh, then maybe that'll be streamed on the 16th, from 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time to 6. So
How does that convert to like freedom hours?
At least
like
2
super
hours.
super early in the morning. I think it's almost like 11. It's like 10, 11 hours, something like that. So
Might be.
yeah. So I mean, and it's gonna have some of the voice actors, the Japanese voice actors, from the show itself, like Satoshi Hino, who's Momonga, Yumiharu, who's Albedo, Aras, Mare, Demiurgs, the Kakutas. And yeah, so all of their all of their voice actors, their VAs, will be part of this live screening event of the game. So that'll be cool. But I don't see an actual like. Oh, it is the 16th, I believe.
That's what it looks like. I can't really tell.
But look, yeah. So it looks like it'll be the 16th when that's released. But yeah, Eric, there you go. That's all you. That's all you.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I'm not ready for this. The reason I've been avoiding Girls Frontline, which is another gacha game, is that I can't. I already have 2 gacha games I'm invested into. It's like if I get any more, I'm just gonna be stuck in this pigeonhole of nothing but gacha games.
Oh boy, I feel you. No, but still, it's interesting to play other ones even briefly. But who knows?
True.
I don't find the excitement in just randomly pulling for shit. Like I do for like certain, like with FGO and Danmachi, which is the 2 that I'm playing,
Yes.
because like the ones I'm already invested in. I kind of more or less know what I want. I kind of more or less know how it's going to be fitting into the rest of my shit. Whereas with that, it's just going to be another like dark in the dark and just kind of hoping it works out, especially because I can't understand moon runes.
Yeah, I get that. Well, the thing is with Overlord, I would think you'd probably be more so invested into than probably even the other 2 that we're currently playing, because that's just like so high up there on your.
You don't
on
like
your
money,
list.
do you?
I don't like money, he says. Nah. Yikes.
Just give it to
Well,
that.
I am planning on still playing it. I'm not going to understand shit of what's going on. I'm not going to understand how to make any of the gameplay work in my favor. I'm just bash my head against it, hope for the best.
You just,
But like,
you just got to do what everyone in FGO did for like the first 2 years. Just have a wiki open and hope for the best.
I just don't have. I don't find it appealing to use a third-party source to try to enjoy something that I have in front of me.
That's
It's a lot of. It's one of the big reasons I've been avoiding a lot of visual novels and other shit as well, because like, I don't want to have to use a reference tab to find out some sort of like hieroglyphic crossword and trying to understand what's going on in front of me. That's too much effort.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, but there's that. So the 16th, there's that broadcast. Maybe the game will come out then. Who knows? But
Okay. Next up is a Konosuba thing. Konosuba movie will be coming out. It's greenlit, but there is no date. He's just finally got a green light.
oh, nice. So that it hasn't said anything about it, right? It hasn't said if it's a recap or if it's an addition or.
It's most
Random
likely an
story.
addition. It's, I don't really see if it's a random story or if it's like just a short thing, but I don't think it's a recap.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Throwing in a random movie things. There's something I saw. I forgot to post it in here for you guys because I'm probably the only person that truly cares. But during the Sunrise panel at AX, they announced a live action Gundam movie made by Legendary.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You are the only one that cares.
I know, that's why. That's why I didn't say anything. That's why I didn't say anything. But there's that as well as far as movies are concerned, but which is just a random thing. They haven't announced any directors attached or anything. It's just there, and by the looks of things, it'll be based on more of like what the original anime run did. So there's that. But yeah, there's that one as well. Sorry, I just thought I would throw that in there while we were moving
dare you.
announcements.
It's
I
okay.
know.
We were talking about quality anime, and then you go throw out that shit, dude.
I see how it is.
I'll bring
I
out
see
some
how
more
it is.
quality anime then.
Oh, okay.
So Mob Psycho 102 premiere
I sleep.
January 2019. You can go suck a dick.
Yeet.
So the new updates, they said once a month, and until it's coming up, so there'll be new visuals, probably trailers and stuff.
Oh, nice. But so that's when the new
So
season's
excited.
airing, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So be the first of 2019.
Very nice. So that winter season.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
And then we're gonna go towards Nintendo. So Nintendo likes to censor everything, or the U.S. does. So Panty censored Nintendo eShop, and if you really look at the picture, it's not that bad.
Well, it's not that bad with a lot of things. It's like when they let's see, when Fire Emblem came over, you have all of that stuff that happened. When there was that other like crossover game with like Fire Emblem and what's the name of that series? Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
There was that game. There was all this censoring stuff, and it was weird because it was sporadic censoring too, so it wouldn't be like consistent throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Which is and so like I mean, when things are localized into the U.S., a bunch of that stuff is just censored. Look at the Danmachi, the Danmachi game we play.
They censored the touching.
Yeah.
I cry.
It's like they
I
took
just want to touch my wife.
they took
You can
out
still
they
touch
took
her.
out features of the game because of whatever reason. But so I mean, it's not super surprising. It's still one of those things, just like, yo, man.
I'm guessing it's
But they
just 'cause
gave us
they're-
a reason. It was just kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I thought it's because I thought they're marketing the Nintendo Switch as a product for kids, and it's just on the eShop, right? Is it like any age gate on it, or is it just like?
It's probably like M for mature.
Yeah, I don't really know how the Nintendo Switch eShop works. I don't know if you have like an age under 18, it only shows you a certain amount of games, like how the parental controls work, I guess. Or if it just shows up.
Steam
you know what
has
I mean?
that, and so does like every other console. I don't see why it wouldn't.
I just don't know how it works.
It probably
Yeah.
does.
Neither.
But I think it's just censoring in general, and it's Nintendo. Nintendo's family friendly. Even if they do have M for mature, it's a family friendly
They've
thing.
100% had non-family friendly games before, so it's just silly that they're just like, well, we're gonna
that seems like
censor this.
what they're
It's
trying to.
fuck this niche group of fans in particular.
Yeah,
Just-
basically.
I'm guessing it.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like that's
Well-
what they're shooting for more. Is with like the Nintendo Labo stuff, is they're trying to cater towards kids.
What?
Well,
So
the
actually,
Switch
that
is
one's
definitely more popular, like among, like I guess younger kids than pretty much ever before, because it's basically a big Game Boy. But I mean, they've had shit like that before. Like the GameCube was like pretty much kind of the same thing, but they had like Jesus, how many Resident Evil games come out on the GameCube?
Bro, they also had.
Well, yeah.
one,
That
well,
was
like
the classic.
two or three, but
But then, like the Wii had
No, well-
shooters and stuff
well,
on
the
it.
thing is, I don't think it's not so much violence either, because yes, we can
Yeah.
mention those games and we see that all the time, and
It's the U.S.
and most of the censoring stuff usually comes from more the anime side of things, but it's also mostly localization companies more than Nintendo itself. Nintendo's just kind of like, here, take this thing,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah,
localize it, and then you have localization companies be like, oh, all this like lewd, funky stuff that comes from Japan.
Well, U.S. is allowed to have
Well,
violence, but not looted.
Another
well,
thing
like-
too is that like the Switches, like Nintendo's eShop is bigger than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like like Google Play or whatever now. I mean, if you don't set restrictions on it, then your kid could go and play or buy basically whatever games, and it hasn't really been like that before. So I guess it
Yeah.
makes some sense in that regard.
I'm also guessing that they're trying to get as many E for everyone games as they can, just so people keep throwing money on the eShop because
They're trying to get rid of the degenerates.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
Money.
same thing with like PG-13
Even though we're the ones
movies.
that blow more money.
where they,
Let's look
you
at
know,
fucking
they want-
FGO. Fucking
True that.
it got them like what $1 billion in a year just off of the fucking the English translations that they had and the people that were able to pay because of that. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of get the idea of opening up and focusing on milking the kids and their parents. But like at the same time, there's this huge demographic of people that actually have money and no responsibilities to just.
I mean,
Yeah.
we saw how that worked out with Steam, right? With all that,
Yeah.
with all that funness.
Now they let the floodgates open, so
I mean,
Well,
I'm
and it's
personally
probably what
excited.
it should be too. Like the idea that the player should have their own agency to be able to like decide whether or not they see certain things or they buy certain things is always how it should be.
that's what
It's
the
like-
ratings for. It tells you what's in it,
Yeah,
and if you don't want that, don't buy it. What's in it should not be changed. It should be the rating should be changed.
Exactly. Or whatever. It's just like if you look at Reddit and any not safe for work tab can be blurred out. It's the same basic principle. But yeah, so there's that. And I don't know. Nintendo, a lot of their localizations do this, so it's not super surprising. It's more just kind of like, oh, you're still doing this. So
That one.
yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna bring it down a sad note. Japan is reeling after their natural disaster with the hurricane. It's pretty depressing.
Yeah,
And-
the typhoon.
Yeah.
The rainy season. How many people died already? There was a lot.
It was a
100
lot.
something,
I
right?
know they like a shit ton of people were displaced. Like I think it was in the millions, wasn't it? People that had to evacuate the area.
Yeah, there was, let's see, this is 176 dead. This article's a little bit old, and 50 missing at the time of this article.
Yeah.
And this is the worst disaster since 1982, it says, since their last rainstorm. It's not even like, the tsunami that hit or something like that, or an earthquake. It's just from rain.
That's intense. Like that's a shit ton of rain.
Well, it's like, it causes landslides and then, takes out houses and
Things that collapse, things like slam into other things at speeds that they shouldn't. Like,
it's more than 8 million people are under evacuation order, with many living in just shelters. Thousands of homes lost
Man.
power, and 270,000 homes are without water. Or they have too much water. I'm not sure how you want to go with that.
Good lord.
Good lord. That's
But
awful.
That's yeah. That's,
Hopefully,
that's
hopefully
terrible.
they're able to comfortably get that shit sorted out because that's pretty rough.
yeah, it's also, bring it back to the industry. It's, it's going to slow down stuff too because power is out. Businesses are probably stopped.
Yeah.
And it matters where, who were evacuated, where it was.
I just want my platelet chans on time.
Oh, good lord.
That might be
That's
Korea
precious.
animating.
Yeah, that's all Korean animation right there, right? They're outsourcing it in the meantime.
But yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so bring it back to I don't know if it's a better note. It's probably just as bad. So there was a survey that happened a few weeks ago, and the survey said 1 out of every 20 people bathe only once a week. This
I
is
thought-
this is otakus. Sorry.
Amongst the otaku community.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So they did 2 polls. The first poll was I think it was like 700 people, and then the second poll was a lot more. And thank goodness the the numbers changed quite a bit, but it was still pretty bad because that's let's see, the second poll had 75,000 people in it, but still 2% said once a week or less that they showered. And when you go
Oh
to
my
conventions,
God.
you can tell who they are.
It's more than 2%.
Yeah, that's a lot more than 2% at that point.
Well,
How
it's
many
like
people were surveyed the second time? 75,000?
75,000. Yeah, 7,500. But the first poll was only 500. So,
It's 2%, right?
yeah, 2% for the big one and 1 in
Based on
20.
1,500 people just are stinky boys. Yikes.
Stinky boys.
Who would win? Social standards or one stinky boy?
Oh my god.
It's like, you can be stinky. Just stay in your house. Please don't go to the convention, stinky. At least like roll in a puddle of water or something before you enter, please.
I don't even know how it's comfortable. Like if I don't shower like 2 days, like I actually want to crawl out of my skin.
Yeah, the most I'll go is like, for instance, like now that I get my days off in a row, it's like I don't work Saturday and Sunday, so maybe like Saturday I don't like shower and I'll just become like a slump and just stay in my bed all day. But like anything more than like a day, dude, like yeah.
Your hair starts
I
getting
feel
all
like I'd
greasy.
rather
you feel
like
all
I
the
have
oil.
to shower in like a tub filled of like the acid from Alien, you know? Like, and just to clean off some of the filth that just like, amassed itself over the couple days. Disgusting.
It's like, if you're going to a convention too, you know you're already going to be sweaty, and it's bad. And if you're
Yeah.
not like showering, it doesn't help anybody. I guess it's like if you want to get in line quicker, maybe maybe people will leave, but
You'll part the convention sea.
most people are just like, I might as well just bring a spray can of like Axe and just start spraying people.
Do axe bombs in the middle of the
The next
fucking-
actual cosplay, the Axe Man.
The Axe
Go
Man.
axing people. Hey, dude, let me ask you a question real quick.
That'd be great. Absolutely great. Oh, and
Just walking in different places. Citizens, I sense danger. Ah! Just start squirting random.
Go for the eyes. That's where the smell is.
yes, that's where the smell comes from. Is their eyes.
Yep.
Exactly. Ooh, and yeah, that's kind of disheartening, kind of depressing in a slight sense.
Mhm. Well, speaking of AX anyway, so if you had 2%, there was 110,000 unique people that went to AX this year from 70 different countries. But I think altogether it was like almost 350, 400,000 people who came. So if you take like 2% of that, there's probably way more than that.
That's
That's a-
AK stinky boys, my dude.
That's a lot of smelly people. And there's more people that don't wash, that
Yes.
late night parties, people drinking.
I couldn't buy my merchandise on time. I can't afford the shower.
Dude, there's water down the street. Just go run to it.
Water in California? What?
They
There's
have a
water
thing
in the
called an
fucking
ocean.
display, like right between that and the fucking Microsoft Center. Just shower in there real quick.
There's a water fountain.
Just run through a
Splash in
fountain and
that.
roll around in that for a minute.
Like
boy.
not taking care of basic hygiene shit just low key irks me.
We're also comparing the numbers from last year. It was about the same amount, but this year they didn't count the pre-show for some reason, so they think there's probably more unique people in general.
And so these are just guests, right?
Yeah, these are just
Not
Not
counting
celebrities.
exhibitors.
These
No.
are the people directly
There
in the
was-
hotels that don't come to the convention. That go off
Yeah.
and do the normal things. Those people, Daddy. Those are
Those
the people
guys.
we're counting.
there's
Yep.
250
Only those.
exhibitors, and I forgot what the other numbers were, but it was just it wasn't many compared to how many people they had to take care of.
250?
Oh, I think it was 1,700 volunteers, which I'm not sure if that's counted in that number either. But
Oh boy! So there's a whole bunch of, a lot of people.
yes, too many
Lot of
people.
I think three, yeah.
And we counted for at least for 4 Bobs. Oh, 3 Bobs and a Josh. Sorry.
Yeah,
That
3
was
Bobs
it.
and a Josh.
Pepe hands.
But, yeah, well, I might as well just keep going on with Netflix. So we went to the Netflix panel, and a few announcements. Ultraman. I don't know if anyone cares about that.
Yeah, buddy.
I have no idea what. Yeah, that's what I was
You don't know what Ultraman is?
I don't remember.
Oh
Which one was
man,
Ultraman
forgive me
by?
for not knowing all these little anime things.
Wait, Ultraman.
Oh,
But it's
man.
not. It's live action.
Yeah.
It's like the Power Rangers.
It was like an old
Oh,
Japanese
yeah.
like kaiju series.
The one that they're rebooting, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the one that I don't know. Yeah, that one.
No, the one I remember because I was fucking there, Eric.
Dope, dude.
Well, anyway, Castlevania has a release date, October 26th,
What?
That's some good
yeah,
shit.
buddy.
and it was fun listening to him talk.
Eddie Shankar?
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
guy
Yeah,
was
he was a,
on
that dude was a
something.
character.
Yes, he was.
See the Adderall. Like, he was hopped up on something. It was great. Did you say he had, like, 2 phones?
He did have 2 phones.
Yeah, he did. One for tweeting out what he was doing, and the other one I don't know what he was doing with the other
Yeah.
one.
Probably for his
It
Adderall
was
hookup.
odd to see.
It was interesting.
It was fun though. But then the other guy, I forgot his name. I feel bad. Cannon Busters has a release date, kind of. So the guy,
It's like
You know.
LaShawn, right? LaShawn.
Yeah.
LaShawn Davis? I don't remember.
it's Davis and Marshall. For some reason, I think Marshall, but
No,
it's not Marshall.
it's
Okay.
not.
Well, it doesn't matter. So he kind of said something. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be announced or if not, but he said sounds like March 2019 that'll be coming out. That looks pretty good too. And he's worked
Yeah.
on a couple big shows.
Like Boondocks.
Yeah, and
Black Dynamite.
Yep. Those
A little bit of Legend of Korra.
So he's got some good animation under his belt. And then the final announcement, she came on stage. What?
Yeah, what?
Agresco Season 2, 2019.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Gretzko season 2.
Super excited for that.
But yeah, so I can't wait. The first season was so good.
Yeah,
Oh.
the whole thing I need in my life.
LaShawn Thomas.
Not Davis Thomas.
So none of us were correct.
I got the first name right.
I like listening to that guy talk.
for
He's
you.
really
He
well
was good.
spoken.
He was
He
smart.
was way good. I liked him. They also talked about the Dragon Pilot show, right?
Oh yeah,
From,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
thing.
one of the co-directors of Evangelion, whose name I can't remember.
Oh,
I don't
He was
And
also
the-
one of
The new Godzilla anime.
Oh yeah, there's that too. The new Godzilla
yeah,
anime is
which should be
pretty
coming
soon.
out.
The CG one? Or
The CG
different-
one.
CG.
That's
Which should be
like this
part two.
month. That's like this
Is
month
that the one
too.
that's continuing from where, like, the... Oh, shit, what was the
Yes.
last one?
I believe so.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they just killed the little Godzilla.
Yes.
And then the OG Godzilla that came and fucked up the earth just came from the mountain.
Yep.
Turns out it was the mountain. And... Oof.
Yep.
That-
Oh, we're gonna have to cut this. Oh well.
It's okay. There's a few things that I wanted to mess with right now. But yes, so as far as the Netflix panel is concerned, yeah, so there was all of that, which was super great. It was super interesting to hear like some of their opinions and stuff. You know, like them questions stuff that they said.
Yeah, about
About
how he
stuff like
lives
that.
in Japan and how he's basically taken hold of the animation, LaShawn, for
oh,
the
yeah.
Cannon Busters.
Exactly, which I thought that's interesting. That's something you don't see very often.
And all I know is if we ever want to do something, we just create Voltron, all of us, and we can create whatever we want. We
We
are
have-
Voltron.
We have to become Voltron.
well, there's 4 Bobs. That makes sense.
Exactly, the four Bobs and the Josh will make Voltron. But yeah, the wise words of Adi Shankar.
Yeah. But we'll go on something that probably everyone here either dislikes or hates it. SAO has the new season. Takes
I'm
place.
actually really looking forward to this season, to be honest.
It
I
takes
was reading
place
part of it.
through 9 through 18 volume. And
Well, I've read most of the Seo books, and I was in the process of reading this one. I got about halfway through it, and then the site where I was reading it from took it down along with everything
Oh.
else. I didn't want to bother looking at it on any other site. But from what I've read, it was pretty entertaining, to be honest.
yeah, it's the Alicization
Like for me,
arc.
for Seo, as shitty as it is, as much as we like the bag on it, I really enjoyed what they were trying to do with that first season. That first arc, I think, was pretty decent, and what they were trying to do. Sure, there were some slip-ups and stuff, but like overall, I found it pretty entertaining. If it would have ended with them just dying at the end, I'd be alright with that. But up until this current arc, I didn't really care. But with this current arc itself, I one that might reignite my interest into it. To be honest.
Yeah, I'll watch it because I watched all the other stuff, and I did like the newest season, the Gun Gale one.
The
They're-
spin-off.
Yeah, the spinoff, and
The better version.
I think you're in the
Yeah.
minority there, to be honest. I've heard a lot of people just constantly just bagging on it.
Really?
I mean, I kind of get why, but like at the same time, one, you know it's a spin-off. Two, you know what part of the series it's focusing on specifically, and given like with other battle royale things like PUBG and Fortnite being really fucking relevant in the gaming
Gaming industry.
communities, you think you'd kind of be a little bit more susceptible as to what's gonna be coming up with, or like what type of ideas they would try to push for with this sort of shit. But a lot of people just got really fucking rustled because it wasn't, the invincible
Because
God,
it was
Deus Ex Machina, dual wielding.
because there was better written characters.
I don't know about better written, to be honest. There was like, yeah, well, yeah, better written in the sense like it's not a hard benchmark to hit, but
Yeah.
like
No.
it's like you still it's like one of the run of the mill seasonal shows that you watch.
Well, yeah, obviously it's not something that sticks with you. But then again, I think within the context of that series as a whole, it's just much better written.
I did like the concept of the movie, not gonna lie, but it was like an AR thing. I just hope that becomes real. Yeah, it's cool.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, I guess we'll move on from that. So then we went to go see the Studio Trigger panel, which was really hot to wait outside. It was like
Oh my
115, 113.
It was basically seriously damn hot and seriously damn uncomfortable. Yeah.
I can tell you, I never wanted the wind ever to blow again. I never thought the wind would be hot compared
never
to cold.
The wind
experienced
was
that
so
before.
hot.
I'm not sure if that's because we just weren't sweating because we were so dehydrated or what.
Well, I know I didn't
I mean, that's
sweat until
possible.
like 5 hours after the panel.
You drink like 2 gallons of water.
True that.
But anyway, so Studio Trigger announced the Kill a Kill fighting game. Well, it's already announced, but they had the release area, I guess, 2019.
Yeah.
There's no
And
like,
then they also showed some more gameplay.
yeah. So they talked about the story differences. So it's gonna be different from the TV show, but it will be a continuation also because it's following the bad guys basically, if you really want to call them quote unquote bad guys.
Yeah.
So, there'd be new forms. The final form for the main character.
I don't remember what it's called, but for Satsuki or what I think that's her name, right? Satsuki's her name.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So she'll have a new form, which was, it was never in the show, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
And it's like a 3D fighting game. Like, I'm not sure because the camera panned around a lot.
Well, so it looks like the new Dragon Ball Z fighting game, and I think that's kind of probably where they took the inspiration on for it. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to follow that formula, which is a lot like how the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games were and all that stuff, and a little more of an extension of your standard 3D
yeah,
brawler. So
it still looked like fun. Like, I'm definitely gonna buy it because I'm a big Kill la Kill Studio Trigger fan. So
still play it.
I'll probably be shit at it because I'm horrible at fighting games in general.
And it'd be good for it. Just probably maybe even just for like the story aspects itself, it'd probably be worth it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it'd be a fun one to get into.
And then just about in that area, I guess, Studio Trigger tried to put out a Patreon, which they didn't have internet for, so that didn't happen until a little bit later.
Think about it though. If we help them out with their Patreon, we'll get less shit like Darling and the Franxx, where they try to split up with another company to try to help them out with that shit. I'd rather just have them to have full control over whatever the fuck that they're doing.
And the
Yeah.
Patreon seems pretty
Darling
fair.
and the Franxx. Yikes.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll
Shut
get
up.
to
There's an order,
we'll get
Eric.
to that. We'll get to
Shut
that
up.
There's your order.
interestingness.
So anyway, so their Patreon's gonna be, it's pretty lenient. It's $1 for just basic stuff, but then if you put $5 down a month, it'll come with like you can watch live drawings. There'll be prints that you can look at and all this stuff from their new shows and games, which I think is pretty cool.
I think that's crazy interesting. And well, it probably will be nice, and it'll probably help them keep some things in house. Even though, as big as studios they are, they probably might not have the manpower for some of the really huge stuff. So we're probably going to get into it because of the panel. But even like the shows, the next 2 shows that they have lined up, I think they're also like in collaboration with some other studios and stuff as well
I'm
To
not
Nothing to
sure.
bother with.
to help with that load.
Well, the shows look
Nothing
pretty
more.
interesting because the first one that they talked about, I believe, was Promare,
Yeah.
and they're a safety crew, a rescue crew. It wasn't
They
really
didn't
sure.
They didn't really say too much about the plot because they don't have a lot of it down.
He looked like a
yet.
firefighter without a T-shirt. That's how I can.
That was
Talk
about the
about-
Proto Nightmare.
No,
that
that was a
was-
troll.
that-
No,
was
I
a-
know. It's about
yeah.
the Proto Nightmare. I listened to it. It's totally
Twice.
what happened. Twice. Yeah, fucking twice. God damn.
The Pro Nightmare was only once. That was only the video.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, he went back and replayed the video.
I secretly record it so I can listen to
Oh,
it every
Okay,
night.
okay.
I hear the cops coming to arrest you. You're not supposed to do that.
Shit.
But yeah, so I mean, that's a show that they showed what the main the main
They
character off.
Showed the main character named Gallo. Gallo.
Yeah, it's Gallo.
He's
What
not
it
a
is.
very smart guy, is what it sounds like. Is
No,
what they're telling
She's
me.
got a lot of heart and traditional like
Is that
shonen.
the guy that looks like the dude from Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's got the
Not
blue
gonna
hair
watch it.
slipping to the left or whatever. It doesn't matter.
100% gonna avoid that shit.
Yeah,
Why you gotta be this
Didn't
way?
sleeper, my dude. Look,
He's got,
I
like,
didn't give a shit
Fireman
about Gurren
pants,
Lagann,
dude.
I'll be honest. Especially his character, I felt he contributed absolutely nothing to it. I felt he was an important catalyst for Simon to grow,
Yes.
sure, but he didn't do shit. he was kind of introduced. He's like, yeah, look at him, he's cool. Look at him do cool things, and now he's dead. Oh man, you remember that cool guy? Yeah, he was important. Yeah, and then next like 10 minutes, that cool guy was really cool. Yeah, he was. 5 minutes go by. Man, if that cool guy was alive, and that's basically how the show carried itself out for the remaining. What was it like? When did he die? Episode like 5, 6.
it was
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
But like the remaining like 18 episodes, like, oh man, I miss that cool guy. Yeah, that cool guy would have helped us.
I
Man,
guess that's
if
a
he was
spoiler alert
here-
in here.
It would be so cool, and we would win the fights. And it's like, I don't care for this guy that wasn't really developed, to be honest.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that. But that's the main character for this new show. And-
Speaking of Gurren Lagann, though, they also showed the mech off,
oh yeah.
and the mech looks like the small one.
Well, it's like
pretty much the Gurren Lagann.
it looks like the Gurren Lagann mech. It's interesting too because the 3 shows we get from Trigger, or at least the one that just passed, and the other 2, if we're talking about the stuff they announced last year, they're all mecha,
yeah, of course.
which
It's-
makes me happy. But but that's
yeah, but you have shit taste.
yeah, sure, yes, that's what I have.
Yep.
Yes,
I mean,
that's fine. That's fine. I can embrace that.
But I think that was it about in the Studio Trigger, unless you guys can remember anything.
No, I mean
no, they showed off that one more teaser. It was like Legend of Korra feeling.
That was
that was
the
game?
that was for a video game. So that was just like an opening for a video game.
yeah. They did the music for it
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
No, they just
Yeah.
they just did like the intro video for it,
Yeah.
Indivisible, and they just animated the intro for
Yeah.
it.
Well, it looked nice. I'll probably get it.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting game. It's just cool to see that an animation company would do the intro like that. I mean, and a lot of different studios will do things like that as well. For instance, if you look at Fire Emblem Echoes, which came out last year, I believe, all the animation was done by Studio Kara, who has done all the Evangelion movies. If you look, Shaft did one of the openings for Super Smash Bros. He did the Palutena and Pit opening. So I mean, it's something that's cool to see in games.
Well, yeah, it's like a little nod to the developers. It's like, here, we'll help you out too.
Yeah, and then obviously they showed off their next series coming out, the SSS Gridman, which
4
is,
S's and the grid
They
man.
did a debut right after the panel.
yeah, they
Yes.
did. They actually premiered the first episode, so I believe that's probably going to either start. I don't actually have no idea when it's going to start, but
Probably next season.
it's probably no. I want to
Like
say
about
winter.
Evergarden. They showed us the first episode, and it was a
I-
while before the
Yeah, I
Yeah,
almost
but
want to
that's
say it'd be
Netflix.
like winter season.
Yeah, probably.
That one looked. I like the way it looked.
Oh yeah, it looks
Gridman.
great, and and it has
It
like
had some nice thighs.
it has that yes because they showed off obviously some of the character designs and stuff like that, but it does have like that, well, harkening back to Netflix announcing Ultraman, it does have that look, and it's basically based off a show that came from that era in that style.
It's the same difference,
It's basically the same thing.
but it's animated.
Yes. Well, the other one, the other one will be a CG fest, but yes, so there's that as well, and that covers everything in Trigger, right? That's everything that they
That's everything I
went
can
through
remember.
and they announced. I'm trying to.
The only other panel that we went to was Overlord, which we saw the premiere. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then the Miss Monochrome.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want that was. I'm gonna become a groupie, guys. I already quit my job.
So if you don't know, it's that 3D idol, and it's trippy to watch. in
Yeah,
real
that
life.
was maybe the best thing that's happened to me in years.
Next
Except
time
for the ear
Nico
rape.
Expo comes around, Cameron, we should go to it.
Sure, dude.
Have you listened to any Miku stuff yet?
Kevin told me to. I've been trying to play around with the game. Conrad watched me. No idea what the fuck to do. Because we also, when we walked into the panel room, on all the seats were Steam codes for the Showmaker game. It's actually software. That fucked me up for a while because I'm like, I can't find it on my game list. Where is it? I put the code in. It's the only software I had downloaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started fucking around with it. I have no idea what to do with it. I got her to move once.
Was it sexy?
No, it was. I was trying to replicate the ear rape.
Oh.
But I made her change colors and move once, and then there was a lot of clapping. I put a lot of clapping in. I got that going.
Nice.
There was also like a lot of options. I was kind of like, so there was like only 2 stages, but then like on there, like you could like set up like the lighting, like not even like just like the rafters of the stage had like 15 different options. I don't even know why.
Well,
But
you know, it's for lighting effects.
No,
But
I'm not even sure if I think all the lighting effects are just different sliders you could do.
Well, yeah, probably.
It was
I
just-
know they were talking about if you do it and post it online, they have a chance that they'll actually use it at some point.
Yeah, they use it in actually one of their concerts and stuff.
So I know. I think it's like 2 months that you have the challenge for.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't that talented.
Why not? You do something crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it do a backflip.
Yeah.
And break my
I'm
computer.
not even
Do a
sure
flip.
if you can put in. I thought like the thing I looked through was like just like a list of just dances that you can make her do that you can chain together. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can, but I'm not sure if you can actually make her move.
I don't know. I
The movement
downloaded
in
it.
the concert seemed like super fluid, like so fluid. Like it seems like it was like mo-capped. You know what I mean? Like it was like super.
It probably was.
It probably was to a certain degree. And I mean, it's not super hard to manipulate 3D models when you actually have the software to do it. But if they didn't give us
Yeah.
that, then I mean, it's
I'm not sure. It could be in there. Like I said, I just was messing around with it. Just I didn't even look at it.
might be. Yeah.
It's probably like the advanced thing.
You gotta watch the tutorial.
I'm pretty sure. I guess it'd probably be in English since
Yeah,
Yeah,
it most
it-
likely would be translated. She talked in English.
that was terrifying. That was probably because that was the voice actor just talking, right? That wasn't like
Well,
Well,
it was
it-
talked,
something they
and then
did.
it was pitch shifted to
It's
Yeah,
like
it sounds
it's like the voice
like a
actress's
Vocaloid.
voice. Yeah, run through a Vocaloid.
exactly.
Because I'm like, she's just like reading something like she doesn't speak a lick of English. She's just reading it. It just sounded terrible. And then like it was more on the concert, you know, the
venue.
audio tech guys,
venue.
but like they just cranked the volume up so loud, so like any high pitch would just be like 100-fold and just destroy you.
Yep.
Absolutely, yes. Exactly.
Anyway, so I got one more big AX question. This is the big one for all of us, except for Bob. How much did all Bob spend?
Oh, good lord, way too much.
Oh, I want a number.
You're asking me?
I want a number from everyone. We'll end with you.
I'll pull out
Oh,
my
I
phone
can't-
and start
I
doing
can't- I
that.
can't.
No,
think
I
about
want.
the
I just
math.
want an estimate.
An estimate. I'm gonna say like 700 bucks.
Is this counting food and everything, or is this just this? I mean, just figures.
I know this is just merch.
Yeah, you spent $700.
Maybe
I spent like 500 if I'm lucky.
I probably spent like 700 bucks.
Hey, Josh or Bob. Oh, no, you are Josh.
No,
Never
he's
mind.
Josh.
Josh, how much you spend over there?
Not a lot. I actually think I was able to get away with only spending, like including parking. I think I was able to get away with only spending like 150.
That's pretty good.
So
I know.
before you guys keep going, so the first time I went, I spent close to a K. I spent like 900 ish.
Yeah.
Second time I went, I spent around 2K.
Wait, you spent 2K that second year?
He bought like a lot of figures.
I bought a lot of shit. Yeah.
That's right.
Remember how
That's right.
Mine was
I
like
couldn't
100
fit
off.
any more in my car?
Oh yeah. It was a good thing that I didn't come back
We
with you
had
guys.
3 people in the car going up, 2 people back, and we barely fit 2 people in the car.
Hey, yeah, brother.
That's it. That was good. That was a fun time.
It's okay. I tried to kill us.
Oh, wait,
and
no,
then
actually,
we
that's
got stuff.
including some of my FGO purchases. So ignoring my FGO purchases and just looking at the rest of the expo, I spent 1,000, 700, 700.
Oh, okay.
That's still a lot if you ask me, but it's worth it. Okay, Cam. Let's hear the big number.
Let's see how much you spent.
Okay, so kind of went balls to the wall.
Okay.
And, like, Forrest was with me for a lot of it. We walked the floor together for like the good first 2 days.
I said no on most of it.
Yeah, I'd walk and be like, I like that. He'd be like, you don't need that camera. And I'm like, but I like it. And
Then
I
he
buy
bought
like
it.
3 of them because I hate myself. I think
Yeah,
I
you
spent
tell him.
like 2K plus.
So you
It's-
spent as much as Eric did.
Yeah, a little bit more, I think. And that's looking at this. This is with all with food and stuff. And it was a lot of money, but I also bought like a ton of shit. Like a lot of shirts.
Well,
It's,
you
like,
bought-
the main thing.
You bought a lot of figures, but you've never, So you basically just started getting into anime a lot.
Yeah.
So
we should
it's
also
like-
talk about the swag we got, Not just leave it at numbers we bought, some of the actual stuff we bought.
Yeah. So wait, what did you buy, Cam? What are the 300 things you bought?
So I bought a ton of clothes, none that really matter.
No.
Figure wise, I got Tanya
And Android.
and Nendoroid. Was it Ryoku? And I got her the English voice actor to sign that.
Yeah. She was there.
What else? Do.
You bought 2 statues.
I
One of Monster Girls.
bought 3 actually.
You bought 3?
I got Jack the Ripper,
Oh yeah, Fred Jack.
Astolfo,
Yep.
and Interview with Monster Girls. I can't pronounce.
Uh,
her name.
Jack
Hikari.
and the one from
Hikari.
FGO or like
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper from
I
FGO.
didn't want Astolfo to be lonely, so I bought. I don't know. I got
Yeah.
weird. I realized as soon as I got him, like, well, I can't have this on my desk, so I put it in my closet.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm like, well, that's some good money spent. I guess I'll look at this never. I also got a Monica Daki.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's.
Same.
I remember as soon as I walked through the door, because my pillow came in like the day I got back. My sister's like, "Is there like a naked anime chick on that?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is it to you, Kylie?" And I just walked
So
away.
did you answer the question?
No, I
Was
just
there
walked
naked?
away. She doesn't even know. I don't need anyone to know that. I'm gonna wait for my Uncle Chad to walk into my room today, and like all my shit's just gonna be on the curb.
It's fine. It's fine. You have your waifu. You'll be okay.
Yeah. So what did you buy, Forrest?
Let's see. I bought 2 Nendroids. I bought the friend from Kill la Kill, the 2-star version.
Is it
Marco.
Mako.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really happy to find that one. And then I bought Akko from Little Witch Academia. And I bought some more shirts. Shout out to Boomslang.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think we all got one, right? Did you get one, Eddie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone but Josh.
Everyone but Josh.
I bought Josh a bomber.
Oh yeah. I forgot you bought AX merch.
Yeah, I bought a fuck ton of AX merch. I got the computer
for me.
pad.
I got you a lanyard, kinda.
Yikerodes.
I got Josh that bomber, which is pretty slick. We're gonna wear those together and just be
Hell
the
yeah.
bestest of buds.
Hell yeah.
And what did you get, Josh?
Food and parking.
Can you take the parking with you? Did you keep the receipts?
I'm surprised he didn't buy that Rory. He talked about it for like a day straight.
I know,
Dude,
for reals.
I felt like I wanted
was
to buy it for
I was
him.
so
Yeah.
fucking tempted. I was so tempted. I
Did they sell out?
I try not to think about it.
No,
No, they didn't sell out. It was just like 2 different booths had the statue I wanted for like 300, but then there was that one booth that had the same statue for like 130.
yeah. But yeah,
Dude, it was like half the price.
you could have totally done it.
So what did you get, Eddie? What did you get? Tell the audience.
Tell the audience.
Yeah, tell
So-
Tell
John.
my mom and Jaden.
Yeah, tell my
Okay.
mom too.
Conrad
So-
might listen to this.
I think my
And
grandma
tell
listens.
Conrad too.
So, in my shit taste, I bought a bunch of Gunpla. You know, because
Which I'm surprised he's actually making them.
For those that don't know, they're basically Zoids.
I thought they were more akin to Bionicle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're Transformers all the way, man.
Robots in my eyes.
Yep. Exactly. And so I got a bunch of those. Some what are they called? Frame arms girls, which are basically
Same difference.
the same thing, just
Bionicle waifus.
Bionicle waifus.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Uh,
what'd you get? Like, what? What are these?
what?
He doesn't know what they are.
What
Oh,
are those?
No. I said
Those are my
where?
chocolates.
Like fucking. What? When did? What girls did you get?
Girls? I didn't
Or you
even
get some
got
random ones.
that.
Like, oh, this one's cute. I don't know where she's from.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
You got a
Yeah.
pink-haired one, and
Whatever,
the only one I can
wherever
see.
the,
Staring
wherever
at
the
its
other
head
one
right
is.
now.
Yes, you're staring.
It's terrifying.
It's
It's
pretty
a
hot.
decapitated head right next to his fucking keyboard.
he also bought something else that's
Oh.
laying on this thing over here.
Oh yeah, I also got
So
a
soft.
2B docky.
Pretty lewd,
Multiculturality.
pretty lewd.
It's pretty great because Nier is amazing.
We should take him out on a date and double date.
But-
Oh my god, that's
Now
the
you're delving
best
into
thing.
the
do
realm
that.
of degeneracy.
oh
You
yeah.
can go to like a high-end restaurant like
Just put him in a chair.
Olive Garden and take them out together.
Olive Garden.
Garden.
Those videos are so sad.
all you can eat breadsticks, man.
Oh,
Shit.
good lord.
I don't know how
Uh,
many she can fit in her pillow, but you know.
You
So-
could, if you put him in the pillowcase, I bet you could fit a fuck ton of breadsticks. in
I
that thing.
probably could.
It's all you can eat.
Someone needs to do the fucking math on that. Like
How-
they did the math.
How
It's a
many
graveyard
how many
bash.
how many breadsticks do you can fit in a docky cover?
I'm saying at least 2.
Yes.
Is that a conservative
least.
estimate, or should I get like a bit higher?
No, you're fine.
I
That
think
might be
that's-
too high.
That might be a little too high. That's just perfect. Let's see. I also got some Fate themed tarot cards, which were pretty dope.
Artwork's dope.
Artwork, yeah,
I've
artwork
seen
is dope.
those. I hope-
I bought a gaming pad from a artist that I think goes by like WLOP, which is a person whose art I enjoy a lot.
02.
02.
Yeah, it's a 02 gamepad from the interesting show that is Darling. And then that's
I forgot I also bought manga.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
you
also
bought-
bought some
you guys
Tanya
bought
manga.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found the same cards like $25 online.
Did you?
Holy
getting it
shit,
done,
Eddie!
yeah.
Give
Yeah.
fuck.
I know, right?
Damn. But
But-
I think that's about it on what we've bought, I hope.
Is there anything else? I can't think of anything else I bought.
Oh well. Let's move on, I guess. So what are people watching this season?
Angel
all the
of Death.
things.
Yeah.
All the things?
All the things.
I think we ran
At the
through a
moment,
bunch of
I'm
them,
only
right?
paying attention to Angels of Death and Overlord.
So
There's something I'll start, I guess, but
we might as well start with Angel of Death since we've all kind of watched it. What do you think of the first episode?
So the second episode.
I'm gonna kick your ass. That's what's
So-
gonna happen. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked. It's gonna be.
let
Bob.
it be Josh, please.
Oh, I mean, okay,
Super
Josh.
Slam.
Anyway, so what would you guys think of the first episode?
I think we all just stayed quiet and didn't even like meme through it. I think we all liked it, right? It
I
was-
liked it.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be show of the season. I have not seen the second episode yet, so I can't
Alright, so
tell
a
you.
little bit more than just saying, I liked it, yeah. What I really enjoyed was the sense of helplessness that they delivered out throughout the show. To me, it reminded me something really similar to like the
Silent Hill?
early like survival / horror game where you wouldn't be able to do much. You just kind of like had to hide and had to just not get caught in a sense. It brought me something similar to that type of vibe, and the way that they carried that out through the constant death being shown in the face, it was like, yeah, I can dig this. I can fuck with this show.
And it sounds pretty interesting that they're gonna do like levels and floors of I guess they're like monsters. I'm not really sure what to call them.
Just kind of psychopaths, I think.
I think I
Crazy
don't know.
fucking
Again,
people.
having
I'm
that
pretty
kind
sure
of
they
thing.
referred to them as floor guardians.
Yeah, they do mention that. So it'll be interesting how that side of it turns out. I do like how one of the Bobs has said, or as Eric has said, that the tension building and the pacing that the show goes through and the way it builds this tension is like, I think it was absolutely superb. And you could see it the way Cam said and the way we watched it. We were all just like glued to the screen. No one moved. No one made a sound. It was just like all focus was just on this one thing on this show.
It's like my favorite genre, scary as shit.
Yeah, I liked it. It was more serious. They didn't like do any like crazy like Mo shit like randomly in the first episode.
No, it was just
It
straight
was
up
it
like
was just straight.
I'm gonna shock you
Oh.
with every corner, and then whoever you thought was good, isn't really good. And
And
then
I think the main thing I'm liking is something I guess I can also double dip with gaming at the moment as well. Like I'm liking how story and how character driven it is. Like I guess harking back to the gaming point, like I'm really fucking hating
yeah,
I hate how these writers go to school and just to make it so that we get to choose what's happening in the game. Like motherfucker, no, you tell me what's happening in the story. I'm not a good writer. Fucking, you carry this out. I want to see what you're making with this character and stuff, as opposed to me like self-inserting myself in this shit. Like, wow, I went through some cool shit. No, I want to see what this particular character and what this person has to go through all this shit. I liked all of the moments of insight that they gave us of the main girl from Angel of Death throughout her running around and her trying to escape, with both being reminded of why she's kind of a shut-in, I guess, and also why a lot of these harsh deaths are like low-key, like not PTSD triggering her to like shock and melt down as much as it's like what I was picking up to be like her kind of opening up a bit more to like her emotions, how to react, and
yeah.
I guess she's getting spooked with everything. I'm enjoying the take that it got with it.
Josh,
I'm
you watched the
like
second episode, right?
I did.
Okay, I did too. I was just figuring that out.
Yes, exactly. So that's a good one. That's one I do like. I enjoy a lot this season. Obviously, Overlord is a carryover one. It's season 3 now, and I believe we're all going through that amazingness, and super
I can't
excited
wait for
that.
all of you guys to be welcomed to the brotherhood of the worshippers. You will.
All I can say is about the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you will welcome our overlords, our good lords and saviors, and praise their fleece. It'll be a glorious moment when we all experience Splatfest together. That'll
So,
be
Yes.
what did you think of the first episode, Eric?
See, I liked the first episode with the Bone Daddy.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was
Well,
great when he got raped.
It's in the books, so it's not like it's just something the studio brought in. Like, oh, let's put on some distractions while we wait for everything else. Like, it's in there.
I didn't
like,
expect
Did
to see
did you
naked.
like it?
I didn't expect to see naked skeleton.
Yeah, I liked it. It's
I-
nice.
I think you'd like all of it. I mean, their adaptations have been fairly faithful, hasn't it? Except for maybe some minor details.
Yeah.
Like for instance, looking back at the second season with the Lizardmen, there's a lot of moments where they first had the blobs that came out as announcers, being like, "Hey, pucker up, because we're gonna fuck you up in a little bit." When those guys came up and started telling all the tribes to watch out, most of them were going insane because they had like a spell of madness that goes along with them as well. So some of them are bashing their heads into the fucking wall. Some of them are running around shrieking and shit. But in the show, I just showed them as just standing like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah,
Or like when Iron freezes the lake, it's a similar effect where all of them are free. Like, what the fuck? What's happening? Oh, and they're just bashing their heads on the ice. They're like running around, fucking scared, acting like animals.
yeah.
But like just more of the details left out on.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because when we were at the panel and they were asking things like so the director of the animated series was there as well as the writer of the light novels, and the director was like, "Yeah, there's so much stuff in these books that I wish I could put in there, and we just run out of time." It's like they're trying their best to put as much of it in, like as physically possible. And I think he said so he said that this season 3 would cover books 7, 8, and 9, something like that,
Yeah.
Yes.
or
Yeah,
8,
that's
9,
what
and
he
10,
said.
something like that. I can't
Well,
remember.
This is
it seems
to
like every
9,
season
yeah.
is covering 3.
Yeah, I've been covering 3 books and stuff. So that I think that's what he said. That's what this is going to cover and all that. And it's funny because they said like they try to fit as much as they could out of those 3 books into this series, so that fans of the light novel and everything can get all of that and see it animated as well.
Yeah. I remember in Overlord 2, during some of the scenes with the princess, it was like going insanely fast. Like they were like just talking. It was like, fuck, dude. Like they're just trying to cover as much shit.
It's like here's your story dialogue.
Yeah, it's like the dude's like super pissed at her about one thing I don't remember, and then like instantly cool with it like the next second. I'm like, this seems like weird. Like it was just like going like 1,000,000 miles per hour.
That's just it happens, but
Well, like even in the light novel, even the decently sized books, like it goes pretty quickly. It's just that there's a lot more depth, a lot more insight to the particular scene. Like if we're referencing the second season, um, the moments with Renner took up
Yeah.
so much time, and so did the moments with Climb. Climb had like the first, the whole second season was Lizard Arc in two different books. It's part one and part two. Climb was basically the main focus on most of book one and a good chunk of book two as well, but with all the other shit happening. Like all that's happening at the same time, it just goes down a bit slower because it's focusing down on all the different perspectives and a lot of stuff that isn't necessary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sure, it adds to the experience, but they're just garnishment.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel you're getting.
So, with that, it's still. I think it's doing a very good job as far as adaptations are concerned, and I'm really excited for what this season will bring. Is there anything else everyone's watching? Like, so,
I know it's something that we all watched.
what?
Platelet Chan.
Well, we can go with that one.
Let's go with that one. We'll go
So,
Cells at Work and
ah,
all of its amazingness.
Cells at Work, first episode, so good.
Japanese Osmosis Jones.
I never thought that they would do an anime about the body,
I never
and
thought they'd do an anime about half the shit they do, Forrest.
that's
Never
what
thought
makes it
it's
good.
Like a racing, like horse girl anime that's also an idol show. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. All I can tell you,
Cells at Work though.
it's so good. The platelet chans,
It's so good.
they're so cute.
It's absolutely amazing. I love it. And I like what they're doing with it so far and how they built this world and even the aesthetics of it. I like a lot. The design of how they portray the different organs and the different types of cells and stuff.
The red blood cells.
She cute.
She's good. As I said, this show kind of reminds me of Fumofu. At least the two main characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, their personalities, the
Yeah.
Full Metal Panic Mofu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
oh my god, I know. What do you think about it, Josh? Like,
I-
who are
like-
the best characters?
As far in Cells at Work.
Oh yeah,
Well, I mean, they really only introduced like. I should say they truly introduced like 4 really is all because the red blood cells, the white. Oh well, actually no 5 because red blood cells, white blood cells. There's the T cells,
yep,
the platelets, and then there
Also-
was the bacteria.
yeah, the germs or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
The virus.
yeah. I hope the T cells get more involved just because like I know about them physiologically and stuff, and I love how they're all just like this hardcore like cop gang basically. So
That's so good.
I'm really excited to see more about the show actually just from everything I know about like with the way the body works and stuff, so I can respect it and just enjoy it.
I know that's a show that most of us are going to be watching in general.
it's a
Yeah.
good show. It's a very
Yeah.
good
I'm
show.
probably gonna watch episode 2 when we're done with the podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. But yeah. So there's that. Another show that I like a lot this season is the badminton one.
yeah, that's what I was going to
'Cause
bring up.
it is
Same.
animated fucking brilliantly. Oh good lord. From like just the angles that they use to like film the badminton scenes turns it into like the most intense game on the face of the planet.
It seems like it's going to be a hard
Batman,
story too.
not badminton. Like
Oh
the Batman when it's out.
no! It's
No,
like
Hanabata.
Hannibal. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's just so good. I mean, like even like so the animation style is brilliant, and like the way it just choreographs everything. And it looks good and it looks hype. I mean, sports anime is always pretty hype when done correctly, and I feel like this is going to be like just one of those shows.
Well, the
that-
artwork in it is freaking amazing. Just like the first scenes where they're just playing their heart out, and the sweat, the muscle structure.
good.
I was
It's
like,
so
oh my
good.
god.
It looks like it's going to be a great show, and I'm super excited for it. Super excited.
Another
Keep
one
going.
that's sports related is the volleyball one.
Beach volleyball.
It's like Harukan receive or
Uh,
something like that.
Hadokana receive.
Yeah,
There you
Haruka
go.
receive,
It's so good too.
which is great. I like volleyball. Haikyuu is amazing. And then there's waifus. It's beach volleyball. So
I'm gonna
even
say
more
it's not as
amazing.
hyped as the
No, it
badminton one.
no, it won't be, but It'll be cute.
There's more fan service.
Well, yes, it'll be cute.
Do that.
I'm excited. It'll be good. I like it. What else is really stand out this season?
I'm gonna say something that's not standout, but probably kind of like I like it so far as the musical girls one.
Oh, the
Is
idol,
the idol
show.
one?
Yeah.
It looks-
It's not. I don't know about any. I don't think there's anything really more standout, quote unquote. But
I started
Music
watching.
Girls
yeah.
is really good.
I'd recommend that one for this season.
There's
It's
a
rated
lot of
actually
other
really
shows.
shit.
There's also a lot of other shows. I don't feel like just this season. There's a lot of recent. Like a lot of the shows that we in particular don't say are great or stand out
No.
are still pretty good in the sense that they're keeping up with the standard and able to uphold like this quote unquote standard that each of the shows have.
Yeah.
Like for instance with the harem ones. Like they're pretty shitty, just they're harems. You know
It's a
what you're
harem.
getting into. Because you know what you're getting into, they're keeping up with something that's like to the expectation of like you and that certain group. Similarly, I feel like the sports anime group have been getting progressively better. I feel like a lot of other comedies have been progressively funnier. It just, we all have different niches and different preferences.
I'm gonna name a few shows I also watched. I started Banana Fish today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's set in New York City. It's a mafia type show, but I'm not really sure where it's going. It's like I looked at the year that the manga was released. It was like 85 to 94, so it's kind of older. But I'm not really sure if it's a yaoi. I'm just gonna
Oh,
throw that out there.
shit.
I'm gonna keep watching it, and I'll tell you guys if
God,
it is.
I want that banana fish. It makes perfect sense with it.
But
Wait, how do you like traps but then you don't like yaoi? What?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, what?
anyway, so I also watched Dropkick on My Devil. It's a really shitty comedy. It's like 24 minutes, but they break it up into 4 parts. Would not recommend.
I watched the first episode of Homes of Kyoto, and I really like that shit.
How was that?
It's good. It's basically about this guy, like this younger guy, who is basically training to take over his family's well-known antique shop in Kyoto. But he's like so fucking good at what he does that he has like the ability to like instantly price and know everything about like any antique that's brought in.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically just a show about him and this like girl that he hires to work around the shop, and just kind of like going over and solving different mysteries about different antiques.
So it's better than Pawn Stars?
Yeah, I mean, episode 1 shit on Pawn Stars, so.
Damn.
Well, shit.
Well, I think I found the show for you, Josh, by the way.
Let's
It's on
get
its 3rd season, but the first season is like they're 3-minute long episodes, and then the second season's 15-minute long episodes. It's called Encouragement of Climb, or Yamano Susumi.
Oh, yeah. I saw that floating around.
It's
Why is it for
basically
me, though?
Eurocamp. It's like cute,
Oh, okay.
but like the first episode is just them trying to climb, but then it goes into them cooking and climbing, and kind of, I'm not sure if it's Yuri. I'm not sure where it's going, but it's cute as
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
I'd recommend it.
Respect.
Alright, the only other thing I have on here is this really good movie that we all decided to watch.
No.
Oh my god.
Calamity of Zombie Girl. I don't know.
Oh.
What do you guys think about that movie?
Oh my gosh. It's like
I think that I don't understand how we sat through the whole thing.
Well,
I
there's a
started
scene where they killed a
Playing
dog
Zelda. I think that was.
twice, 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
how
didn't
many
even
times
bother
did that corgi die?
Let's see, they smashed it
remember.
once.
Yeah,
They
when they-
revived it, and then they ripped it out.
I remember when they first smashed it. I was playing around on my phone and I looked up and I just see a dude with like a Donkey Kong fucking mallet and just
Yep.
splat, and I'm like, huh, what the fuck are we watching?
All I can
I'm-
tell you is I don't know who the bad guy was
I
or the
still
good
don't
guy.
to this
Either,
very
actually.
moment.
I'm like, yeah, you root for the humans, right? No?
Was there even humans at the end? I thought she turned into a zombie. At the
Well,
end.
they all turned into zombies at the end, but
What about except for that one chick, right?
yeah, she was the only one who survived.
yeah,
Only one.
Which is like feels bad, man. The amount of PTSD she must have.
oh, she's crazy.
I'm pretty sure we watched it as like a meme,
Yeah,
I
well,
put it on
obviously.
because there's nothing else to watch.
and then it turned out to be a meme.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't
just
me.
Dad
Yeah.
animation.
It was like
with
that
Scooby-Doo.
the Sharknado levels of writing,
But there were
but
boobs.
it
in
wasn't funny.
Oh, there was boobs.
There
in
was
it.
boobs.
There
in it.
were boobs. Yep, there were definitely opai
This-
in this show.
She ripped out her brother's heart, right? And then
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some incest involved too. I'm pretty
like
sure.
yandere incest, and she like
Yeah,
ate his
something
heart.
Yandere.
to that effect. Yandere. Like-
Yandere.
Yeah, that's right.
Yandere.
Oh, I'm sensing a new nickname coming on.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so there
Yeah.
was a bit of that.
So I'm gonna rate that movie a 1 out of as many numbers as there are in the universe.
A 1 out of 1? Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
it's
God.
perfect.
So you must watch.
No, but
Oh,
seriously,
man.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was rough.
Don't watch.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should move on to the last segment.
Oh, God.
Spoilers for everybody. This is gonna be spoiler heavy. We're probably just gonna do one show from the season. I think we're gonna talk about.
Oh, good lord.
Darling.
Oh, good
I
lord.
want to hear everyone's thoughts on Darling.
Oh, good lord.
Whoever
we
wants
go.
to start.
All right. So I feel like a lot of the things that the two companies were trying to do would have been pretty interesting in and of themselves if they were different shows. Because like every 2 episodes or so, I feel like it would progress towards one direction, and then the other company would take over. It would progress another direction, not just the stuff that was already brought up. And then later on, it would swap to another progression that would not include the previous shit. And I think it was just like this. If I had to give like a visual, it's like a tree that has many branches, and every like week we're jumping from one branch to the next without any.
I feel like there's like just two trees in general.
Yeah, and then like it was really evident to feel when the different companies were taking over certain parts, and it just made it feel shitty, to be honest. I stopped caring about the show 3 episodes into it. I just kept watching it because fucking I already invested in because 02 was cute, but
02 is bad.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty shitty and stopped caring
It's like
for it.
it's like at the beginning of it, I liked what they did with a lot of the world building and everything they were bringing onto the table and stuff. And obviously, as the shit taste mecha fan I am, I mean the mecha thing was pretty great, and all that stuff, and a lot of the references to obviously older Gynax stuff. And I did really feel like the show tried to be like a tribute to old Gynax, seeing that Trigger is an offspring of it. And I saw a lot of that, and I liked a lot of that at the beginning. I liked it. I liked what they were doing with the characters and everything. It's like as it progressed, though, I feel like it lost sight of itself, and it was just like it almost felt like the world building and stuff couldn't carry it enough, and it got to the point where it even kind of shat on its own world building, and I don't know.
I think there was too many episodes, and like I like the show, but I think there's just too much going on, and they just couldn't push it in one direction. They're like, here's everything, and you're just like, well, too much, I guess.
I did feel like it suffered from some pacing issues as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had a certain buildup and everything, and so when you have all this buildup, and then you have a show peak like at I don't know, episode 15ish, and then from there it doesn't really know what to do with itself, you have an issue. It's like you have a problem. And I felt like that show just lost a lot of its continuity as it progressed, like what Eric said.
I feel for me personally, it wasn't so much an issue of how many episodes it had. I feel like even if we give it 13, it still should.
Yeah.
The main issue I had is that it just didn't know what it wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Me as a viewer, there was moments I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to progress with this shit? I don't care about what's happening here. You go somewhere else. I don't care about this shit. None of it is relevant. And then like later on, like, oh, remember that one thing? Neither do we. Let's go with the next shit. I'm like, all right, I guess. We're just completely instantly dismiss a lot of the shit you try to develop and progress, and then
That's exactly it.
like at the end, although I do agree with the notion of the build up and the unsatisfying climax and the resolving actions that I had, like I feel like it was kind of like a rat cornered, and it just doubled down on the fact that it was cornered. Like, fuck it, we're already gonna die. Might as well charge the motherfucker and see if we don't die. But it, you know.
Yeah, it had a lot of issues as far as its writing was concerned, and it was just a very disjointed show, almost to the point that it kind of reminded me of even though tonally it's very different. Actually, no, it might be even pretty similar. But I mean, like story-wise, the plot-wise, premise-wise, it's very different. It did feel a little like Guilty Crown to me. The sense where you have like beautiful animation, decent music, an interesting premise at the beginning. A main female protagonist with pink hair. Main normal protagonist is pretty bland, and then it just completely goes off the rails on itself with world building and everything at around its halfway point. So in that sense, and even the ending comes fairly similar in certain aspects as well. So it does kind of do that, and now it's giving me a little bit of PTSD from that. But it does that's also probably an issue with it I actually did have. But
one thing that I really liked about it, though, even though people give like hero shit for how he wasn't, I think he actually was a pretty decent character.
oh no, he was.
And how they were used, to be honest. 'Cause
Yeah.
for me, I didn't find it so much interesting all the things that he wanted to do and the things he wanted to accomplish. I don't feel like that was the important part that they were trying to push. Personally, I think that they were trying to use him as the central point, or I guess the home base, to like when people like shot off into the distance to do their own shit. He'd be like, "Oh wait, hold up, let me just remind you of some good things, bring you back to reality, and keep you here with the rest of
Yeah.
us." And it was like a nice base or a nice home for all of them to reference whenever they were going through their shit. And it just, for me, it felt like he was more important and more useful, I guess,
Yeah.
as the catalyst for the growth of all the other side characters and everything else going around him, as opposed to it being like, it has to be only him type of mentality.
No, he was a good character. It was
I liked him. I liked most of the characters. There's a few characters that I'm not gonna say I disliked. They just kind of didn't really need to be in the show.
Like
well,
who?
that's true of most side characters. Though.
Well, the fat guy, he was kind of useless. The girl that he rode with at the end, she was important, I guess, at the end of the show, but she was, they never talked about. And then you had the two tsundere people. They were interesting characters, but they weren't needed. I
Well-
felt like when they went towards their plot points, it was just like, does this matter? No? Okay, move on.
Well, no, not necessarily. And I think, but that's an issue I believe a lot of side characters have in any show,
Well, yeah.
and that's something you have to look at, in the sense that their actions, in a sense, do influence what the main characters go through. Maybe not in a directly plot sense, but they do indirectly in some of their motivations and stuff like that.
So what about the Netherare? What did that push?
Oh, that was its own.
Yeah,
Was its
that-
own.
that-
That's
that
what
whole-
I said.
The whole episode didn't need to be in there.
That's what I said. That it's kind of their own things, and they wanted. I almost feel like they kind of wanted to focus on everybody, even though the premise they started out with, or the plot they felt like they were going with, wasn't really going to use that.
No, I kind of thought that, and it was just like, well, why are we doing this? But I'm like, if it's important, cool, but whatever. It was in the show.
Because I think the premise they wanted to push probably could have been summarized down to 6 episodes if they really wanted to do it that way. Because it's fairly simple. But obviously, they wanted to probably build up all these other characters as well. They wanted to build up this world and wanted to show their interactions between these characters almost in a very slice of life-ish kind of deal, because it kind of went that way for a little bit. And
Towards the middle.
yeah, so, and I feel like they kind of want to do something like that, almost branching off of we'll talk about another series that they came out with, which wasn't the best, like Kisniver, for instance. And they almost wanted to do some weird drama interactions between the characters like that, almost trying to make it character centric, when the world and the premise was very not character centric and more plot driven and world driven than the characters themselves.
No, I get you.
So
On that note, they bring up in the early second, third episode where you're not able to pilot it if emotionally and psychologically you're not matching the person that you're with. So that's the moment they have breakdowns and the whole ship just crashes and it's kind of vulnerable to a lot of shit. But yet later on, there's that and the early concept of death that they've introduced pretty fucking heavy from the first episodes. It's it's never really touched on. A bunch of side characters. Honestly, I'm not gonna give a shit about side characters that die or.
Well, they didn't even kill off main
ads.
side characters. It was just literally ads.
They just killed random background. There goes Chucky off to the side. He's dead. All right, and there's Jerry. He's dead now too. I remember Lisa was. Oh, nope, none of us did either. She's dead too. It's what the fuck?
See, I thought they would- for the ending, I'm gonna start spoiling, I guess. I thought in the ending that the only two that would have survived would have been the main two characters, and basically everyone would have been wiped off. But it kind of was a reverse to that. I guess they were reincarnated. I guess.
They try to pull some Angel Beats funniness.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, oh, here, they're still there. Don't be sad. I'm like, well,
It's like
I'm happy, I guess.
I almost feel like they wanted to make the show that was a tribute to Gynax without going full Gynax and just killing off everybody.
I
But
feel like it's counterintuitive to the atmosphere they were pushing for the first like 3 or 4 episodes. Like they were really showing like, hey, most of these guys might die. Some
Yeah.
of these guys might die. And later I was like, JK, friendship, yeah! And you're like,
everybody's
"Alright,
gonna live.
Alright, fuck me, I guess.
I just felt like with the world they built, I thought it was gonna take a lot darker of a turn or tone, and probably even go into like even some more like philosophical ideas than it actually did. And it
Yeah,
turned
like,
out just being
it-
really
it-
basic.
It grazed on so many interesting things that they could have developed and brought into, which I felt like I want to say that was maybe Trigger that was trying to push for it, but then the other company would be like, nah, let's just ignore that and never build into that and go with friendship. And it's like, man, if you would just focus maybe a couple more episodes into the shit while you're developing everything else, just fluidly add it in, it would have felt so good. Like I guess like the darker things when they touched on, like the whole adults not really acting with each other, not really
No one has
trying
emotion.
to read or anything. They're just going into their VR type of mentality. They're trying to pleasure themselves and just leave it at that. Or how they don't really have kids anymore. Like, yeah, they touched on that a bit, but like the whole atmosphere and the things that they could have pushed for with those things could have driven pretty nicely. Just they introduced it for nothing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of missed opportunity, in the idea of, I mean, they could have done what a lot of other stories in the kind of genre do, the idea of questioning what makes us human and stuff like this, and all these aspects of it that you see in a lot of other series that are fairly similar. But I mean, you could have raised a lot of these questions, or maybe even shown like different sides and ideas to it. And I just feel like it was such a open, beautiful canvas that they just kind of left there, and went like a very easy, basic route with it. And it could have probably turned into something absolutely like memorable and magnificent, other than what it did. So, I mean, the animation was great. Obviously, Trigger and A1 did amazing jobs with a lot of the scenes they did, and I remember even in the first episodes there was like just different like transitions and the way they established certain shots and scenes. I was like, this is beautiful, and this can go like certain directions. This will be absolutely amazing, and then it doesn't, and then it just. And it's funny too, because even a lot of those like good shots and a lot of like the brilliant cinematography also tends to die down as it progresses, and that also kind of goes, and it almost like reverts to a very basic anime fashion, almost like they kind of threw in the towel of making something great. But yeah, there's that.
So what did Josh and Cam think about this show?
Oh boy. Overall I don't know. Overall as a whole, I enjoyed it just because like I tend to enjoy shows just for the fact that they're shows. But pretty much still on par with everything you guys said. I mean, there's a lot of shit in it that just eventually ended up being just that. It was like just shit, just in it, just for the sole fact of being in it. Like, I think a really big main point that was brought up was probably the side characters, because like I feel like at the beginning of the show the side characters had more impact, and then as the show went on the impact was super forced, or I guess what they had to do with the show was super forced, and it was, eventually you just kind of quit caring about the side characters. You'd forget their names, you'd forget like shit that they've done, shit that they've said, and then pretty much at one point it was just like, look at these two, they're having a kid. Now they don't know who they are, but they're still having a kid, and I was just like, man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Nobody
especially
cares.
like at the beginning, like it tried to push for like, oh, we really have to care about who these characters are, especially with the whole slice
Yeah.
of life thing they
Yep.
tried to go for. And then at the end, it's like, let's supersede any personality and just remember that it's all mecha and monsters. Like, if
Yep.
you're just gonna show me mechas and monsters, just fucking hit me with mechas and monsters, dude. That's
Yep.
ah.
It's like, oh, but wait, But wait, in the midst of all this, these two are still having a kid. Oh, you forgot their names? So did we, but listen, they're having a kid. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, the show itself definitely fell on its face. It's not to say that I hated it. I don't think any of us hated it, but
No.
it fell on its face for sure. And I think like the show goes on, right, and then the final episode, I think it was like basically when someone like finishes like a really big project, right? And they're just like, "Yo, check out this project that you've been watching me do for weeks." And they show it to you, and it's supposed to be like this big, huge, impactful, like emotional thing. And you go through all 24 minutes of it, and you're just kind of like, "That was pretty cool, bro. Nice job. I'll pin that shit on the fridge." That's kind of how I felt about it. Yeah.
I felt like it lacked a lot of that impact there at the end. I mean, that's because it completely derailed up into that point. So you watch it and you're just kind of like,
They went to space to blow up shit.
Like, if I have to give like a visual for it, or I guess some sort of an analogy, it'd be like if they all 5 of us or 6 of us got together, like, and started building something with dominoes that we were gonna knock down, right? Like, we had like this image, like, hey, we're gonna make this certain thing and knock it down, and it'll be cool. About 4 stacks into it, we're all like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna go make a tree. No, fuck you, I'm gonna go make a box over here. And then instead of knocking them all down to make it like this beautiful sequence, someone just came at the end and just knocked it all down off a fucking vacuum. Like, whoops, I didn't see you guys were down there. And everything is just kind of shits it all and stuff. You're like, yeah, that's what we're left with. That.
yeah, basically.
That's
So
our effort.
I mean, we carried through the show for a lot, and we did, I guess, enjoy it as it progressed, and it was interesting to see. But in the end, it didn't amount to much, except for like a pretty thing that just didn't have that great of a story.
So Cam, what do you
Yeah.
think of it?
I don't got a lot to add. I feel about the same as everyone else, and that's probably about it.
How about this? We give one thing we like about it, one thing we don't like about it, and then give me a rating out of 10.
Okay, I guess I'll go first because I haven't talked for like fucking 20 minutes.
That's fine.
But so I liked it a bit longer than everyone else. I liked it until like that fucking hand came out of the ground. That was when I just started hating it.
Episode 15.
Was that 15?
Yeah,
I thought
that was
18.
No, it was 15.
That was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hated it about everyone else.
Yeah.
What I like
Before we keep going,
everything
though, I
before
like
that.
how we all have check marks. Like, this is the moment we.
It was literally as soon as I
we
saw
know
that
we
hand.
marked down the episode too. We just
And I'm
mentioned
like-
this one.
Yep.
I'm like, they're gonna do some fuck shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And then
What thing you like about it?
what I like about it?
Yeah. And you
They
can't
did
say
that.
0 too because that's what we'd all
I
say.
really fucking for a minute I thought they were gonna go like heavy into the backstory, and they did kind of do that a bit farther in with the Dr. Franxx. Franxx, yeah, I fucking care.
It doesn't matter.
No, that's his name.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of like that, and I thought they were gonna like everyone else like gonna do a bit more world building, but then they just the thing I hated about it was when they went to fucking space. I don't know why the fuck they did that.
Because it's triggered.
It's triggered.
That
They
was
always go to
kinda-
space.
I'm like, I thought they were gonna actually like do some like, what does it mean to be human? Yeah, and I'm like, actually, I'm a space god,
Yeah.
and then let's go to space, guys. And then like, I'm like, as soon as because I watched them all like that night at the hotel, just powerhouse them all. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? They like just like completely just like shat on what they were trying to do for like because I was like really like into it for like a fucking while. Like that's all I fucking like on the
Yeah.
subreddit,
Yeah.
and it just like blew up. And I'm like everyone else is like, if the space thing was like an entirely separate show,
Yeah.
like that would be cool. But
Yeah, I get you. It's okay.
I'd give it. What rating I'd give it?
Out of 10, here we go.
Fuck. So like,
All right.
what's medium?
Well,
What's like an average show? Like 5?
I don't know. You give us
You-
the
you-
the
yeah.
mark
So let's
that-
give like 10 being like the best. 10
Yes.
Steins
10's
Gate,
best, yeah. 10 Steins Gate.
and like 5 being like a normal show. I'd give it like a 3, a 2, a 3 or a 4.
That low? Holy crap.
Damn.
So 5 being average.
Yikes.
Okay.
Can't hear him. He keeps chopping out for me. What did he say?
He
He
said
said it's a
about
2.
5. No,
Oh,
no,
it's
no. He
like-
said like 3 or 4, with
Yeah.
5 being
Oh, okay.
average.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. Thing I didn't like about the show was the side characters to me didn't mean too much. I liked some of them. I liked most of them, I guess. And thing I really liked the all the fight scenes, like the animation sequences through the fights were amazing. And 0-2, but yeah, that doesn't count. Uh, I guess I would have to rate it. I don't know where you got a tool. I'm gonna go 7, probably, because to me that's more average. It was good, but it wasn't the best.
Josh, you go before Eddie.
Yeah.
You're pretty heavily influenced by stronger opinions, and I'd rather you give your thoughts now before you just go, yeah, what they said.
So the thing I like, we can't say 02, so I'm gonna say child 02.
Damn.
Okay.
Shit, I should have used that.
I didn't
I'm
think
switching
about that
mine.
one. Yeah, you can switch
The-
yours.
Eto.
One thing I didn't like, Ichigo. Just in general. No, but really, what I truly didn't like was just the direction the side characters went. Like, it was just so shitty. Overall, out of 10, I'd probably give it a 5, just like dead in the middle.
Okay.
All right. So if I have to go, it's like, so start with the things I liked. I mean, I did like the premise at the beginning. I did like what they did, even with like the mech designs and stuff like that. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed a lot of the cinematography and staging of animation. Although I hate what they did with the characters, I do appreciate like how much background and writing and even almost like quasi character arcs they try to do with each one. And I do appreciate that, even though I feel like it wasn't done really well and the pacing was all off. But and things I didn't like. Like I said, I just feel like there's so much missed potential in that world and in everything that they probably could have established and could have gone into. And that almost disappoints me more than anything of the show. It's like I feel like there was this great thing and then it just wasn't that great thing. And I feel like that's the most disappointing part to me. It's just that it could have just been so much. It could have been, it had everything going for it, and it just could have been so much more. And it just decided not to be that thing. So I'll probably go with Cam and give it like a 4. I mean, I don't know, it probably would have been higher if they actually kind of did more things with it as far as the story wise, because obviously the animation doesn't save it from mediocrity of story. So I'll keep it with like a 4 and just call it good with that one.
I'll just
Okay.
start off by saying I give it a 2, flat out. Like,
Okay.
like for me, an average show, the thing that makes it average is that it has some sort of continuity to it. Like, you know what type of show, what type of it is. Like, if you run into a shitty harem, it's a shitty harem. You know what to expect out of it. It's run of the mill. It's just kind of there to promote whatever the fuck it's trying to promote. Just to dish out, be like, hey, look, we did another anime, another standard average thing. Even that, I give maybe like a 4 or 5, depending. But like, the main reason I'm giving this a 2, as opposed to saying it's standard or average, because honestly, it isn't standard or average, in my opinion. If it was standard or average, we wouldn't be talking about it. It wouldn't be something that would be, oh hey, we have these opinions on this shit. Oh hey, we have this totally non-influential thoughts about it. No, it's just like, it's something that came out just guns a blazing, just saying like, this is gonna hype itself up, it's gonna build traction for itself, gonna promote pretty nicely in the first couple episodes what it could potentially do, and just build itself up, both in terms of our expectations and in terms of like its writing style. And the way that it just kind of tore itself apart and ignored a lot of what it could have done, it doesn't frustrate me. It just kind of disappointed, to be honest. I felt that it could have been a lot better and a lot bigger than what it was at the end. But it's just shitty show. Even though there were a lot of things that I liked about it, personally, for me, I liked a lot of the motifs they were bringing up, a lot of the underlying dark undertones that they have for the story. slowly building itself up. It's like, oh man, it's building up traction. It's getting kind of dark. What's gonna happen? And then, whack, friendship. And it's like, all right, I guess, man. That said, things that I did like how it had a lot of darker things out to the side into the story. Like for me, one of my favorite episodes is honestly the beach scene that they have. Not because of the fan service or whatever. I could give less of a shit about that. What I liked is there was a moment about them just acting as kids, which is something that they couldn't really do, given the circumstances that they had. And then given a little bit of chance they had to explore, they stumbled across like the ruined civilization. They had a couple of prompts to themselves, like, oh, what the fuck's actually happening? Maybe everything's not hunky-dory and monsters and machines. And when Kokoro finds that one book about the kids, I'm like, ooh, this is hitting some spicy shit. I liked how it just kind of fluidly added a lot of things like that for whatever they were doing for in that moment. There was a lot of, overall, I feel like it failed to kind of link them all up together, but at the moment when they were introducing those small, darker concepts, I think it did pretty well with that. It's something that I appreciate. Also, I touched on earlier about how they treated Hiro and how he was a pretty good catalyst. I personally appreciate what they did with him to keep the side characters as the main driving point of the story, but always bringing it back to him as the home for the story, I guess. But again, I just give it a 2. Like, I felt like it was pretty disappointing. I felt like it didn't know what to do with itself. And honestly, I'm not gonna have, oh, but cute characters, oh, but big names, save its face from how shitty of a show it actually ended up being. Like, I had more enjoyment from a run-of-the-mill standard bullshit show that we're gonna forget about in a week than I did from this show, to be honest.
Like I said, I felt like it pulled a guilty crown in that sense, and it just kind of became that.
So all in all together, pretty much low to mediocre show from all of us.
Can I change my
I guess
most
the average would be
hated
like about
moment?
a 4.
What's your most hated moment?
When they held hands with Statue 02 and saved Hiro and her through the power of friendship through
Oh yeah,
across the fucking galaxy.
That's pretty hot, actually.
Yeah, when I saw that, I rewatched that with Bob, like real Bob, and like we both looked at each other like, "What the fuck is this bullshit? Like, what did they do?"
Yeah, us Bob's watched it, and we were like, "That's pretty good."
They literally all linked arms and just like prayed.
Dude, like,
They were
you
trying to
know,
make
it's
Voltron.
charging up the spirit bomb, dude. That's what you gotta do. You gotta believe.
oh my god, the show turned into a shonen.
Is that where they're trying to merge?
Explains why Josh has the highest score amongst us.
Yep, I knew it. Oh well, so there's that, and I mean, which is sad because it was probably a show we kind of looked forward to in the last 2 seasons, and it's kind of sad that it didn't end up that way. But yeah, so there's that show last season. Kind of like a review of that one. And last season, was there really a lot of other things that we can probably talk about that in the future episode of some of the other things of last season that we kind of liked a lot.
Yeah, I'd say that's about it.
That's about it for this one, and kind of wanted to get that one out of the way because I felt like it was more the elephant of the room of the whole season to get that out of the way. And we'll probably go over maybe 1 or 2 of the other shows from last season. Well, there is like 2 shows from last season that I would really like to go through.
Megaloboxing.
Yeah.
And Hinamatsuri is another big one, and we can go about that and the themes of that one a little more in the next episode while these next season shows start to build up steam, and we can kind of see where those are going. But I think this is probably a good place to call it for this one. Yes.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
I like how we talk more about this show that disappointed us more than talking about something that we enjoyed, like say Boku no Hero or something else.
Well,
that feels so fucking bad.
I know. The thing is, like, thinking about it, I felt like it was going to be great to sing praises of something, and I feel like so in the next run we'll probably do that about better shows. But seeing that this one was so big and it just became such a big disappointment, I felt like it was just necessary to go through it.
Yep.
So yeah, so there's all that.
I'd say next episode we talk about Megaloboxing.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and all that stuff. All right, so that's everything. Thanks everybody for listening. As Bob69 has said, or the Forest, to follow us and subscribe and all that fun, good social media goodness.
Tell a friend, please.
And tell a friend if you happen to come across us.
Send me money in the mail.
Sure, exactly.
I'm so poor, please help.
And so thank you, everybody. And that is it for episode 3. Peace.
Bye.